Good morning, Shalom. It is lovely to have you with us, whether you are joining us at home or here with us in our sukkah. We are experimenting with different ways of doing the chairs. And one of the things that we did was we decided we would lay extra chairs and see how people sat, because every time we only lay the exact number of chairs, no one sits where we want them to. So what that's ended up with, though, is like a really big space in front of me. So if anyone who's hiding at the back would love to come and sit here, we can separate those off. It feels like that's going to be the thing I look at for the next, sorry for you at home, a little bit of housekeeping. It feels like that's going to be a thing that I look at for the next hour and a half. So if anyone's brave enough to come forwards, then that would be lovely. Thank you for joining us at home. We're going to just say hello to you. So if you're on that side of the shul, you can see, you can be seen. So if you want to just wave at the camera, which is up there, lovely. And it's lovely to see you at home. So if you're able to just turn your cameras on, if you feel up to it, if you're not still in your pajamas, and would like to just say good morning to us, that would also be lovely. Excellent. It's lovely to see you. We are going to sing. We're going to sing our Shabbat morning service. The idea of these Imrei Finu services, if you've not been with us before, is just to take time over Birchot HaShachar, over Pesukei Zimra, to really sing together, to take time and to breathe. So we're going to begin by singing about singing. We're on the top of page 2. No, that's a bad key. Good start. 2, I reckon. V'ani ashir zecha v'haranei laboker chastecha ki hayitza mizgav li umanos bayom tzali v'ani ashir zecha v'haranei laboker chastecha ki hayitza mizgav li umanos bayom tzali uzi elecha azamera azamera uzi elecha azamera azamera uzi elecha azamera azamera uzi elecha azamera azamera ואני אשיר עוזך וארנן לבוקר חסדך כי היית משגב לי ומנוס ביום צלי ואני אשיר עוזך וארנן לבוקר חסדך כי היית משגב לי ומנוס ביום צלי. We're just going to take a moment to just be grateful for waking up this morning, that extraordinary thing of being here, the thing that we've taken for granted all those years of being able to be together in prayer together, and the extraordinary gift of our bodies. So in place of singing or reading, we're just going to take a moment for ourselves, and then we'll come together on the top of page 3 out of the silence to thank God for the gift of our souls and for our Birchot HaShachar. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asani b'tselem Elohim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'lo asani nochri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'lo asani aved. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa li kol tzorki. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam pokeach ivrim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam marbi sharumim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam matir asurim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam zokev kufufim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamechin b'tzadei gaver. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Ozei Yisrael b'gvora. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Otei Yisrael b'tifara. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam. Anoten le'yaev koach. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam. Amavi sheina me'enai, utnuma me'afapai. לעולם יהא אדם ירא שמיים בסתר ובגלוי ומודה על האמת ודובר אמת בלבבו. We should always be in awe of God in private as well as in public, speak the truth aloud and mean it in our heart. Adonai melech, Adonai malach, Adonai imloch leolam vaed. V'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu yihiyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. Hoshienu Adonai Eloheinu, le'adot l'shem kodshecha, lehishtabech b'thilatecha. Baruch Adonai Elohei Yisrael, min ha'olam v'ad ha'olam, ve'amar kol ha'am amen. Hallelujah. Kol ha'neshama Baruch Shema Vayaolam, Baruch Hu, Baruch Omer V'Oseh, Baruch Gozeh U'Makayim, Baruch Oseh V'Reishit, Baruch Merachem Al Haaretz, Baruch Merachem Al Habriot, Baruch Meshalem Sachatov L'Reav, Baruch Mavir Afela Umevi Ora, Baruch Achai Lahad V'Kayam LaNetzach, Baruch Shein Lefanav Havla, V'lo Shicha V'lo Masofanim, V'lo Mikach Shochad, Sadiku B'chol Derachav, V'chasid B'chol Ma'asav, Baruch Podeh U'Matzil, Baruch HaManchil Menucha Le'amo Yisrael B'yom Shabbat Kodesh. Baruch Hu U'Baruch Shemo U'Baruch Zichro Le'ol Me'ad. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaKadosh HaRachman Melech. Mulal Batish Vachot. Tov L'Hadod L'Adonai U'Lezamen L'Shimcha Elyon. Tov L'Hadod asur v'alei navel, alei higayon b'chino, ki simchtani Adonai b'fo'alecha, b'maasei yadecha aranein, ma gadlu ma'asecha Adonai, ma'od amku machshavotecha, ish ba'a lo yeda, uchsil lo yavin et zot, b'frach l'sha'im k'mo esev, v'yatzitzu kol po'alei aven, lehishamdam adei ad, v'ata marom le'olam Adonai, Kine oivecha Adonai, kine oivecha yovedu, yitpadu kol pale aven, v'tarem keren kani boloti b'shemen ra'anan, v'tabeit eni b'shorai, v'kamim alayim re'im, tishmana oznai. Sadikatama Yifra Geheres Valvanon Yizgei Shetuli Behaveit Adonai Bechatzot Eloheinu Yafrichu Od Yenuven Beseva Deshenim Barananim Adonai melach geut lavesh Adonai oz hitazah, aftikon tevel baltimot, nachon kisacha meaz meolam atar, nasun naharot Adonai, nasun naharot kolam, yisuu naharot dochyam. Mikolot mayim, mayim rabim, adirim, adirim, mishmereyam, mikolot mayim, mayim rabim, adirim, adirim, mishmereyam, adir b'marom yelaylay, adir b'marom yelaylay, adir b'marom Adonai yelaylay, adir b'marom yelaylay, adir b'marom yelaylay, adir b'marom Adonai. Eidotecha nemnu ma'od, leveitcha nava kodesh, Adonai la'orech yamim. So there are two main bits to Psukei Imrei, our Shabbat Psalms and daily Hallel, of which we'll do a bit in a moment. But the tradition was to sort of add to it, especially on Shabbat, to add extra bits because we're not in a rush to have more time to prepare for Tefillah. So we're going to sing from a couple of additional Psalms. We're at the bottom of page 10. We're going to sing from Psalm 13 again to enjoy singing about the joy of singing. אני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך בטחתי, יגל ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך פתחתי, יגע ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך פתחתי, יגע ליבי בישועתך. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. ואני בחסדך פתחתי, יגע ליבי בישועתך. ואני בחסדך פתחתי, יגע ליבי בישועתך. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, אשיר לאדוני, כי גמל עלי. And in line with, for those of you who were with us last night, what I spoke about, that sense of being able to be grateful for and appreciate that which we have. As for me, I trust in your faithfulness. My heart will exult in your deliverance. I will sing to the Eternal. For whatever is happening, God has been good to me. Yavo Ezri Esa Einai El Harim Esa Einai El Harim Me'ayin Yavo Yavo Ezri We're in the middle of page 11. שמעל השמיים. יהללו את שם אדוני כי הוא ציווה ונבראו ויעמידם לעד לעולם חוק נתן ולא יעבור והללו את שם אדוני כי הוא ציווה ונבראו ויעמידם לעד לעולם חוק נתן ולא יעבור. Hallelujah, 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 Berkocho, hallelujah, Bikiazo, hallelujah, Bigvorotav, hallelujah, Karokula, Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 B'tei Shofar, hallelujah, B'nevel v'chinor, hallelujah, B'tov u'machol, hallelujah, B'minim v'ugav, Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 B'tziltzalei Shama, hallelujah, B'tziltzalei Truah, Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 Kol HaNeshamat, hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Baruch Adonai L'olam, Amen v'Amen. Baruch Adonai Elohim Elohei Yisrael, Osei niflaot levado, u'baruch Shem kvodo l'olam, v'yimelech kvodo et kol haaretz. Amen v'Amen. Nishmat kol chai, tevarech et shimcha, Adonai Eloheinu, Baruch HaKol Basar, Tefaheh u'tromem, Zichrecha Malkeinu Tamid, Min ha'olam ve'ad ha'olam, Ata El, Ata El.
Umibaladecha ein lanu melech ko elo Moshiach podei umatzil va'onei umrachem. B'cholei tzara v'tzuka ein lanu melech ozev v'somek zulatecha. Elohei harishonim v'ha'acharonim, Eloah kol briot, Adon kol toladot, Hamhulal b'chol hatishbachot, Hamanahei golamo b'chesed uvriatav barachamim, V'Adonai lo yanum v'lo yishan, המאורי ישנים והמקיץ נדמים, מחיי מתים ורופא חולים, פוקח עיוורים וזוקף כחופים, לך לבדך אנחנו מודים.
Finu male shira, male shira, shira chayam, ushonenu rina kahamon, amon galav. Ilu finu male shira, male shira, shira chayam, ushonenu rina kahamon, amon galav. For those of you who are joining us at home, there appears to be a large tank coming up Aelith Gardens. Robert, are you going to... Oh, and as quickly it was gone. We're on the top of page 16. Odd. Maharom v'kadoshemo v'chatzur rananu tzadikim Adonai la yesharim nava tehila b'fi yesharim titromam Imrei tzadikim titbarach uvilshon chasidim titgadash uvakerev kadoshim titala. So as we rise together, to come together as a community in prayer, East is that way, which gives me the opportunity to thank Abby, who some of you will be able to see, for giving up her Shabbat morning so that she can help us to be one community in prayer wherever we find ourselves. And just to invite those who are joining from home, just for this moment of Baruch Hu, if you would be able to turn on your screens so that we can be one community together in prayer just for a short period as we sing Baruch Hu together. Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la la la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzeh or uvorei choshech, osei shalom uvorei et hakol. Hakol yeducha v'hakol yishabechucha, v'hakol yomru ein kadosh kadonai. Hame'ir le'olam kulo liyoshvav, uv'tuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reishit. Marabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, malah haaretz kinyanecha. Hamelech hamramam levado me'az, hameshubach v'hamafa'ah v'hamitnaseh mimot olam. Elohei olam, brachamecha harabim rachem aleinu. Adonu zeinu tzur miskabenu, mageni sheinu miskav ba'adenu. Or chadash al Tzion ta'ir, v'nizkech ulanu mehira la'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzeh ha'ma'orot. Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahavtanu,
Ahava Rabbah,
Ahava Rabbah. With deep love you have loved us, and with great and overflowing tenderness you have taken pity on us. Source of our life and our sovereign, show us compassion because of your own greatness, and because of our ancestors who trusted in you. For you taught them rules to live by, to do your will with their whole heart. Let our eyes see the light of your teaching, and our hearts embrace your commands. Give us integrity to love you and fear you. So shall we never lose our self-respect, nor be put to shame. For you are the power which works to save us. You chose us, small peoples and tongues, and in love drew us near to your own greatness, to honor you, to declare your unity, and to love you. Blessed are you, God, who chooses your people Israel in love. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Avta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha, v'chol nafshecha, v'chol ma'odecha. V'hayu hadvarim ha'ele, asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha, v'shnantam levanecha v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, v'lechtecha v'aderech, v'shochbecha v'kumecha, v'kshatam le'ot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot bein einecha, v'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uv'isharecha. We'll take a moment for the second paragraph for ourselves. We're coming together on page 22 of the special booklet. More Dahabe El Bnei Yisrael V'matalehem V'asulahem tzitzit Al kanfei vigdehem Ledorotam V'natnu Al tzitzit hakanav Patil techelet V'haya lachem Letzitzit Uritem oto, uzchatem kol mitzvot Adonai, v'asitem otam, v'lo taturu acharei levavchem v'acharei neichem, asher atem zonim achareihem, leman tizkaru, v'asitem kol mitzvotai, v'item kadoshim lelohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Emet v'yatzivakem. Emet Tanai Olam HaKedah. Moshe Miriam uvnei Yisrael lechanu shira b'simcha rabah v'amru chulam. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neheda b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha neheda b'kodesh. Nora tehilot oseh efele, Nora tehilot oseh efele. We are walking in the light of God. 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 We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. We are walking, we are walking, we are walking in the light of God. Siaham baku kanye kwenkos, siaham baku kanye kwenkos, siaham baku kanye kwenkos, siaham baku kanye kwenkos, siaham ba, siaham ba, siaham baku kanye kwenkos. Siyahamba kukenye kwenkos Mikamocha ba'elim Adonai Mikamocha nehedar b'kodesh Mikamocha ba'elim Adonai Mikamocha nehedar b'kodesh Nohora Tehilot שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים. יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. צור ישראל, קומה בעזרת ישראל, גואלנו אדוני, צבאות שמו קדוש ישראל. Baruch atah Adonai, Gal Yisrael, Gal Yisrael, Yisrael. Adonai Svatai Tzivta Adonai Svatai Tzivta Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Adonai Svatai Tzivta Adonai Svatai Tzivta Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Elohei Emoteinu Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak v'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel v'Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora El Elyon Gomer Chasadim Tovim Koneh HaKol V'Zocher Chastei Avot v'Emahot U'Mevii Goel Livnei V'neihem L'Mahan Shemo B'Ahava Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Poked Sarah אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי מתים אתה רב להושיע, מוריד הטל, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי מתים ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות ומדומה לך
מלך
ממית ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה ונאמן אתה לחיות מתים. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי המתים. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש. And we'll continue with our Amidah for ourselves. We're going to come together on page 31 at the top of the page. Imrei והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי, וגואלי. לרצון אמרי והגיון ליבי לפניך, אדוני, צורי וגואלי, וגואלי. עושה שלום במרומה, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. 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 So in order that we can sing and sing and sing and sing. We don't have a full Torah service in this service, but have just a moment of Torah as study. So for that, each of you should have found in your little booklets a mini Torah portion, just from the end of this week's parasha. I spoke about a little bit of it last evening, or at least this one incredibly powerful line in there about our ability to see the world around us and to appreciate it properly. I will, before we say, well, when we say there's a blessing to stay together, and I'll do one other little bit of midrash, and then we can chant some Torah, and then the heavens will open, possibly. Okay, let's say the blessing for study together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu la'asok b'divrei Torah. So before we come to Torah, just one little bit of midrash, which is in our portion, Moses tells the people that it says, the clothes on your back did not wear out, nor did the sandals on your feet. So the rabbis obviously look at this and think, wow, that's an opportunity for some creative midrash. What does it mean that the clothes that they wore never wore out? This is years and years and years, and there were babies who had grown all the way through. So the rabbis really put their imaginations to work on this. One tradition that we find is that the rabbis compare the clothes that the Israelites wore during their journey to the shell of a snail. That is, it just sort of grew with them. So one rabbi says it's sort of, so the clothes sort of grew with them. Another tradition that we find is that there's a kind of, is it the picture of Dorian Gray where the picture gets old? And so there is a tradition that each of them was carrying with them a trunk, and in that trunk were clothes, and those clothes aged and wore out, but the ones that they were wearing didn't. So another one of those mitzvahs. Now what's really going on there, of course? What's really going on there is that the rabbis are, of course, in part what they're doing is they are kind of grappling with how the Torah can possibly say something so extraordinary. We're probably supposed to read this text metaphorically. The rabbis are uncomfortable with that idea, obviously. But of course, the other thing that they're doing is that they are amplifying the miracle, which is one of the things that the rabbis do. So as we know from the Haggadah, for example, where they take the miracle and make it into more miracles and more miracles and more wonders that happen, the rabbis are keen to do that too. And of course, in the context of this bit of text, what that does is to emphasize even more the kind of this voice that says, how can you not see how amazing this is? How can you not see how wonderful that is? And I am very aware at the moment that one of the things that the last 18 months has taught us is that we need to be able to see the miracles in front of us. We need to be able to see the blessings and the wonders in the everyday. And we don't need clothes in bags, and we don't need snail shells in our clothing to be able to appreciate the fact that we have an extraordinary amount and the wonders of the world as God gives us. Contains some of my least favourite singing notes, this bit of Torah, which I should have looked at before I put it on a sheet, so bear with me. Vayikra Moshe el kol Yisrael vayoma alehem atem ritem et kol asher. Yeah, that was the one. Tisha G'dolah, Tisha K'tana. Cannot bear them. Every time we'll get them wrong. Sarah, for those of you at home, Sarah's just going to fill in those things. Go, Kol asher asa Adonai leinechem be'eretz Mitzrayim lefaro ulechol avadav ulechol adso. Everyone should have a cantor that comes and sits next to them and else verse. Where am I? Hamasot hagdolot asher ra'u einecha hatot v'hamoftim hagdolim hahem v'lo natan Adonai lachem lev ledat v'einayim lerot v'oznayim lishmoa ad hayom hazeh v'olech etchem 40 shana b'midbar לא בלו שמותיכם מעליכם, נלכה לא בלתה מעל רגליך, לחם לא אכלתם, ויין ושכה לא שתיתם, למען תדעו כי אני אדוני אלוהיכם. ותבואו אל המקום הזה, ויצא סיחון מלך תhank you, Sarah. והוג מלך הבשן לקראתנו למלחמה ונקם, וניקח את ארצם, וניתנה לנחלה, לראובני ולגדי, לחצי שבט מנשי, ושמרתם את דברי הברית הזאת, ועשיתם אותם, למען תשכילו את כל אשר תעשו. Thank you. Let's say the blessing after study together. We're on page 32. Barav na Adonai Eloheinu. Is it raining? Wow, it's coming this way. Great, okay. והרבנה אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לאמור ישראל. And before we move on from Torah, we're just going to take a moment, as we often do, to associate our study of Torah with our hopes for healing for those who need it in our community. I'm really aware that there were people who were supposed to be here this morning who aren't here because there is still a virus going around, that we as a community are not immune, that the world is still suffering, and that beyond COVID, of course, there is a huge amount of pain and illness still in the world. So let's just take a moment to put our hearts to that reality of life and to commit to being a source of strength and support for those who need us. As we often do when we have engaged with Torah as an act of study, we're going to follow that by saying Kaddish to Rabbanan. Let's rise together. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ba'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon v'yamechon v'chaye dichol beit Yisrael b'gala v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam l'almei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'a v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitada v'yitalei v'yitalal shemei dekudsha b'rechu. La'ela min kol bechata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata diamiran ba'alma v'imru. Amen. Al Yisrael v'al Rabbanan v'al Talmidehon v'al kol Talmidei Talmidehon ועל כל מן דעסקין באורייתא, די באתרא הדין ודי בכל עתה ועתה, יהי להון ולכון, שלמה רבה, חינה וחסדה ורחמין, וחיים אריכין, ומזונה רוויחה ופרקנה, מן קודם אבוהון די ושמיא, ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיא, וחיים טובים עלינו ועל כל ישראל, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל העולם, ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאלה לי 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 לי, יאלה לי 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 יאלה לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאי לי 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 לי, יאלה לי 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 לי, יאלה לי 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 יאלה לי. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל, ואמרו אמן. עץ חיימי למחזיקים בה, וצומחיה מאושה, דרכיה דרכי נוח, בכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך, ונשובה חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם. We're on page 35. Eino, 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 Aleinu l'shavech l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר בחרנו מכל העמים, ונתן לנו את תורתו. אינו, 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 ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. אינו, 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 שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינתו זו בגבהי מרומים. הוא אלוהינו, אינו, 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 אמת מלכנו אפס זולתו, כך כתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבביך, כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל ועל הארץ מתחתינו. אינו, 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 Al Cain, Nakavelecha Adonai Eloheinu, Lirot Mehera B'Tiferet Uzecha, Lahavi Glulim Min Haaretz, V'Halilim Karot Chikaretun, L'Taken Olam B'Malchut Shaddai, V'Chol B'nei V'Asai Yikru V'Shmecha, L'Havnot Elecha Kori She'aretz, Yakiru V'Yedu Kol Yoshvei Tevel, Ki Shutafim Kulanu B'Tikun Olamecha, Ki HaMalchut Shelcha Hi, Ula'ol Me'ad Timloch B'Chavod, Kakatu b'Toratecha, Adonai Imloch leolam va'ed. V'nehem v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz. Bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shamo. Ushamo echad. We turn to page 37 and prepare to sanctify the name of God with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. We take a moment to thank God for the gift of those we loved, for the time that we spent with them, and to remember them. On this Shabbat, we stand with Rachel on the death of her grandmother and Deborah's grandmother, of Cynthia Elf. We remember also Lawrence Bloom and Morris Epstein, who died this week. We stand with all of those in the Shloshim and the Shana, the period since the loss of a loved one. And of course, we know that you can't just sort of cram mourning into a box and say it ends at a certain time. So everyone here who is still holding the loss of someone in their heart, we stand with you. And as a community, we remember people on the anniversary of their death. With them, we remember Eva Anson, Ruth Byrne, Ivor Cohen, Harold Curtis, Nicholas Dykes, Winston Drapkin, David Fisher, Mark Gaffson, Franz Goldschmidt, David Haller, Raoul Jules Levy, Robert Liu, Michael Mann, Lewis Marks, Phil Michaels, Harold Ossack, Daniel Rubins, Sylvia Rinkoff, Joyce Rose, Eli Rousseau, Alfred Shea, Bella Schwartz, Daniel Silverstone, Ros Springer, Nathan Stein, Mavis Wolfe, Howard Wolfe, and Hans Reschner. Zichronam Livracha, may the memories of all those who we miss be a source of blessing in our lives. I know there are many here who are saying Kaddish, so I invite you to join with me as we turn to page 37. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Amen. Ba'alma divra chirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon u'v'chaye dichol beit Yisrael ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'alam U'Lalmei Almaya. Yitbarach V'Yishtabach V'Yitpa'a V'Yitromam V'Yitnaseh. V'Yitada V'Yitalei V'Yitalal. Shemei D'Kudsha B'Richu. Le'ela Min Kol Bechata V'Shirata. Tushbechata V'Nechemata. Yamiran Ba'alma V'Imru Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya. V'chaim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'al kol ha'olam v'imru Amen. Thank you for being here this morning. And online. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for being here in this area with us. It is a source of extraordinary sustenance to be able to sing together, and the joy of being able to sing together in here. It's got a little bit cold all of a sudden, but thank you for braving the weird English summer and being here with us. This amazing space that we've been able to create thanks to the the foresight of our trustees and leadership with us, is going to be full again this evening with music, a slightly different kind of music this evening as we transition into the High Holy Days. So Slichot begins in here at 9 o'clock. there are spaces. So if you want to book in, just make sure that you let us know that you're coming. But Slichot in here with the choir and Julianne and Katie and Cantor Tamara and Lynette will all be in here together to fill this space with song again. It is the one time in the year when we're singing in here past 8 o'clock in the evening because of the neighbours. Of course, we're then getting close to the High Holy Days, so please do sort of look at the booklet, negotiate your way through it. If you need any help trying to work out how these two different High Holy Days plans that we're running in parallel works and where you can be, there is a dedicated helpline. So please don't hesitate to phone it if we can help you to think about how you want to access this. We recognise that people are in different places. There is no pressure from us to be in person or to be online. You need to do, this year more than ever, you need to do what is right for you. We will be a whole community together on Erev Rosh Hashanah and for the end of Yom Kippur. Yizkot and Nilau, we will be together online as one community. So that is the only pressure from us. What you do between those and how you create your own journey through these weird High Holy Days is really up to you. Right, we are going to turn to page 38. We're going to conclude by singing together Adon Olam. Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol yetzir nivra, Le'et nasa, kechef sokol, Azai melech sharon nikra, Adon Olam, Hashem Olam, B'terem kol yetzir nivra, Le'et nasa, kechef sokol, Azai melech sharon nikra,
V'yacharei, kichlot hakol, levado yilov nora, v'hu haya, v'hu hoveh, v'hu yeh b'tifara, Adon Olam Hashem Olam, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, Ne'et nasa kechef sokol, Azai melech shemo nikra, B'hu echad, V'ein sheni, L'hamshil olam v'ira, B'li reishi, B'li tachlit, V'lo ha'or v'hamizrah, Adon Olam Hashem Olam, B'terem kol yetzir nivra, Le'et nasa kechef sokol, Azai melech shemo nikra, v'hu Eli, v'chai goli, v'tzochev li b'yom tzara, v'hu nisi, u'manusi, manat kosi b'yom ekra, Adon Olam Hashem Olam, b'terem kol yetzir nivra, Le'et nasa kechef sokol, Azai melech shemo nikra. We're going to let the groom lead us in the last bit. V'ya'ado, Akid Ruchi, Ve'imruchi, Gevi'atzi, Adonai li v'lo ira, Adon Olam Hashem Olam, B'terem kol yetzir nivra, Le'et nasa kechef sokol, Azai melech shemo nikra,
Thank you to Justin. Huge mazel tov to Joe. We hope you have a very, very wonderful day tomorrow, and much more importantly, a very, very, very wonderful life together with Emily. Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being with us. If you're at home and you want to, we're going to unmute you or give you the ability to unmute yourselves now so you can wish one another and us Shabbat Shalom. Thank you for being here. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone. It's a beautiful service. So grateful that I was here this morning.
Good morning, Alex.
Shalom.
Shalom. Bye.
Shalom, David. Shalom, David. Hello, David.
Shabbat Shalom, Andrew. Yes.
Yes, nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Ring me. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, David. Hope you're keeping well.
Yes, thank you.